All right, on the call right now we have Jerry Mansfield. Jerry Mansfield actually runs We Build for Life. So, Jerry, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jacob. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jerry, you got a hold of me a couple days ago on Instagram. You slid into my DMs, and you kind of were like, hey, Jacob, I run this non-for-profit organization, We Build for Life. So what is and why did you start? What is it and what did it start? What's the genesis story of We Build for Life?
Yeah, I appreciate you reaching out. So We Build for Life is our nonprofit functional fitness gym. We work with cancer survivors locally here in the Kansas City area, as well as worldwide, sort of focusing on functional fitness. Our genesis story is kind of interesting. I am a sort of semi-retired software executive. My wife and partner Sammy has been working in cancer exercise for about 18 years. And I sort of got to a point in my life where I wanted to sort of slow down and stop traveling. So we started a healthcare consulting company, Cancer Wellness for Life. And through that organization, we work with hospitals, universities, and organizations all over the world around exercise, specifically for oncology. And as we were working with physicians here in hospitals in the Kansas City area and working with patients around why to exercise and what they should do, we sort of saw a gap in where do we send patients to?
Sure.
It's great that we tell them that they should exercise and why they should exercise and the benefits while they're recovering from cancer or why they're going through treatment. But then, we send them to a gym like a Genesis, and they walk in and, someone, a man that's had prostate cancer, and they tell a trainer that, and the trainer just kind of goes blank, right?
Sure,
First of all, they're like, what does that mean? I have no idea what to do with you, right? So at the time, Sammy and I were CrossFit members at a local gym here in Kansas City. And we started working with the owner and one of the coaches and said, hey, would you be interested in starting a group fitness class, specifically for cancer survivors? He was a little nervous at first, but, Sammy, who's a CrossFit coach and cancer exercise specialist, said, look, I'll run it. Just give me a little bit of space. And so we sort of started it, like a trial, right? So we, I think we started with about 4 or 5 people, and it grew a little bit. And we learned a lot from that. We were pretty fortunate that CrossFit HQ actually came out and did a little expose on us, video series.
And then what year was that? That was 20...
It was maybe 2016, maybe. I can't remember exactly, but they did a really great video series. One of the videographers is pretty famous. A lot of people know him. He does a lot of CrossFit games and sort of been all over the place. And, I was always to the sidelines, sort of supporting Sammy and, whatever she wanted to do. And sorry, I'm going to get a little emotional.
No, you're good.
It kind of it hit me hard. So I started watching them while they were videoing some of the cancer survivors that we were working with, sort of telling their story about what they've gone through and sort of how the functional fitness has helped them. And give me a minute. And one of the ladies was talking about how she had gotten breast cancer just after her son was born. Her son was about 8 months old, 9 months old, something like that. And so she had to go have a mastectomy. A mastectomy is when a breast cancer survivor has their breasts removed. Okay. And she was explaining how she was unable to hold her child, carry her child. And then working with Sammy, started exercising and started getting back and straight and started getting stronger and stronger. And how she was able to hold her child for the first time because she got stronger to be able to lift her child up properly the right way, and that she hadn't been able to do that for years because after her surgery, she just didn't know what to do. She didn't know who to go to. And I was like, that's it. Excuse me. I was like, whatever you want to do, Sammy, is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And we decided to open our own gym, our own space. I learned a lot through the CrossFit gym that we had. We had an amazing coach that I worked with. I actually went and got my CrossFit certification. We started our own space. I sort of bootstrapped it a little bit with our own money. And we said, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. It's going to be a place for people to, when they walk in the door, they're no different than you or I,
sure.
Right? We call them athletes just because they're a cancer survivor or they're going through cancer. It's not a place that they can come and talk about cancer.
Sure.
It's a place that they can come and sort of start their new, start figuring out what their body is like, start recovering after their surgery or procedure or radiation or whatever, chemo, whatever they've gone through. And that's how we started. And it's our nonprofit. My wife and I, we don't pay ourselves a salary. We're two of the coaches. We have a third coach as well that helps us out. So we have 3 coaches running 13 classes a week, group fitness classes. And then we also do some one-on-one individual training for cancer survivors. And that's sort of our story and how we got started.
Yeah, so
I apologize. I still get kind of worked up because, being in software, I have one side of my brain, right? And then, I have this emotional side. And, when you start talking about cancer and how it affects people's lives, and it's, I myself haven't had cancer, luckily, but when you see others like your sister, it's hard, and you hate to just sit and watch them, and whatever I needed to do to help is what we did.
No, that's that's an awesome story, Jerry. It's cool how passionate you are, and how it's what's enjoyable for me is seeing that there are so many different things in life where fitness is really applicable and people don't seem to think about it. Honestly, I wouldn't have thought about it until we talked on the phone yesterday when you called me, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy only has cancer patients do CrossFit. I'm like, how do you do that? Why is there even a need for this? And then when we talked about it and I asked you your Genesis story and I asked you why you did it, it became more clear that you're right. As a trainer, if someone came up to me and said, I don't know how to train, I have breast cancer, I would have no idea. Can they do push-ups? Should they do push press? I couldn't even answer that question. So it's so cool to see people take something so almost mundane as fitness and CrossFit or functional fitness and apply it to such specific areas of their lives. So,
it's great. It makes you sort of think a little bit differently. I think as an athlete and as I'm going through and I'm doing certain CrossFit exercises, I had an amazing coach at the CrossFit gym I was a member of, and he broke things down for me, each exercise, and that's how he would explain the exercise. He'd break it down very fundamentally, and that's sort of the same path that we go through as we're talking with cancer patients or cancer survivors. We break it down to, okay, you don't immediately start with a push-up or pull-up, right? I train them the same way that I trained myself. I couldn't immediately just start doing kipping pull-ups, right? I had to start at some place, and so we sort of back everyone back at almost the very beginning, and then we work them forward. And I think we are a little bit different. We're not a true CrossFit gym to where we do a whole lot of Olympic lifting. We don't do the games and things like that, but the functional fitness aspects are the same. We do a form of Murph. We do a form of Fran. The basics and the fundamentals of functional fitness is very important for people to build their bodies back. And you know this as a coach. I had a prostate cancer survivor that we worked with that texted me on Tuesday, and he said he just got off of a 12-mile bike ride. To me, that's why we do this, right? I don't do this because you can squat 200 pounds. I can do this so you can hold your kid, and you can ride your bike, or you can carry in your own groceries. And functional fitness, is our modality of how we get those people back to living almost better lives than what they were living prior to cancer.
Absolutely. Okay, so what about now? So, obviously a lot of businesses are shut down or quarantined, and unfortunately, we're considered non-essential. So how are you, the people that you have that have cancer or have worked through cancer or getting through it right now, how are you still communicating with them and making sure that they are still driven, felt accountable, and still working out?
Yeah, that was a great question. We really struggled on trying to decide if we needed to close our doors or not. A lot of gyms are clean, just nature of ensuring that, you're keeping everyone healthy,
sure.
Right? But we're probably cleaner to the extreme because
Absolutely.
We have people that are immune deficient, currently going through chemo. So we have to be extremely clean in our facilities. And we do have those people that wear masks every day when they walk into the gym because, they've gone through perhaps a bone marrow transplant or something like that. So the immune system is really, really low. So it was difficult for us to close the door because we're not just a gym for them, we're a community for them where they can come in and they're just a normal person like you and I, right?
Yeah.
They might be bald and they might wear a mask and people look at them differently when they're in the store, but when they come in our gym, I'm like, great, go get warmed up, get ready to do our workout of the day, right? So it's a little bit of a community for them. So we ultimately did decide to close our doors. Again, we have no idea how long we're going to be closed. But what we have been doing is we are doing live group fitness classes 3 days a week online, right? I know a lot of people are doing that, and it's an amazing tool. So Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 5:00, all of our members jump on, and it's really neat because some of our members that come to our 10 a.m. class don't see the members that come to the evening class, right? Sure. And so we got to corral them a little bit because they all start talking and seeing each other, which is great. But we still try to keep a structure. We allowed a lot of people to check out equipment from our gym that we're able to take home. But then we also, the workouts that we do, it's sort of body weight type stuff, or you can use a laundry basket, odd object type fun. Right?
Your dog, your cat. Yeah.
Pick up your kid or something and do some air squats. Sort of like what you were talking about, people sitting in videos of what are some odd things that they're doing to exercise. Well, we're doing that as well. And it is great because I sort of, Sammy does the classes and I sort of sit behind in case any of our members have questions or they're doing something wrong. I can sort of watch them.
Sure.
So we sort of do the classes, and then after that, we allow time for just community, right? So we kind of all go around, everyone can talk, see what they're doing, see how they're interacting, what do they need. And then we have a private Facebook group that it's a community as well. And then we're also working on nutrition, right? So we want to make certain no one gets the coronavirus 10-pound weight gain. We don't want them to sort of,
the quarantine 15.
For 15 or 19 or 2020, whatever it needs to be. So like this evening, for example, we're going to have a live nutrition chat. So we have a nutritionist on our team. We'll be talking about healthy snacks, things like that.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome,
it's a way
Jerry.
To sort of keep our community together, keep their spirits up. They've got cancer or they're fighting cancer already, so they're down,
Sure.
And then they're locked up at home, right? So we want to try to keep everyone happy and positive and gives them something to look forward to. 5:00, they're all super excited. They plan their day around it. You see the spouses sitting in the corner waiting for dinner, right? They're like, I got to get my workout in, and then I'll go back to laundry or being a mom or something.
That's awesome. Well, Jerry, let me ask you another question. if people are interested, you're a non-for-profit. So if people are interested and they're thinking, man, what Jerry does for We Build for Life is amazing. How can they find you? How can they support you? Let us know how that works.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So we are a full nonprofit. However, we do have members that pay a monthly fee to sort of help, keep lights on, that sort of thing. We are fully funded federal 501c, so any donations we take are tax deductible.
Okay.
Our website is webuild4life.org. You can learn a little bit about us, see a little bit about our classes. You have the ability to donate through there. And what we do with the donations is we don't use the donations again to pay salaries.
Sure.
We all do this for free. As our side job, it tends to be more full-time.
Yeah.
We utilize the donations for scholarships. So for those cancer survivors that perhaps couldn't pay the monthly fee to come to class, we use that money to provide scholarships for them to come to the group fitness classes. And so we cover 75% of all of the costs for the group fitness classes. And then it also includes nutrition consulting as well. So we'll sit down with them, put together sort of a plan of what they're eating, how they're eating, how are they snacking, what are their macronutrients need to look like, and things like that. So the 25% of it is sort of what we do for operating costs. Sure. Try to keep our lights on and have a facility for people to come to. And then we also use the donation money for those that cannot come to our brick and mortar space. We utilize an online tool, so we can work with them at home, or if they're in another state in their own gym, we work with their coaches to try to help put together like a 6-week program for them, so they can sort of work out and exercise on their own.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Jerry. Well, hey, what are some closing thoughts? I really appreciate you coming on here. Like your passion, I can see your passion and what you love, and that's so cool to me to see someone that's using, our sport. Functional fitness is great, but seeing someone use functional fitness for something they are passionate about that's freaking cool. That's really stinking cool.
I mean, it's so great. Our goal for this year is everyone wants to get one pull-up. I don't know where this came from, but all of a sudden, like, a couple people started and everyone heard about it. And I know it sounds simple, but strict pull-up's hard, right?
That's hard. And
so, I think for them, it's a distractive goal.
Sure.
And, us utilizing CrossFit and functional fitness fundamentals to help people reach a goal like that it may sound simple, but, I hate to say it, but fuck, these people are alive. And if I can help them do a strict pull-up and that helps their lives and distracts their lives, then
absolutely,
damn it, that's our goal and that's what we're going to achieve.
Okay, well, I'm going to send you my email, and I expect to see people getting strict pull-ups in a few weeks, and I'm going to expect to see those. I want a follow-up. So you tell everyone to get a strict pull-up.
Follow us so we're on Instagram as well. We Build for Life. We post videos. We have people flipping tires. It's pretty neat. It's fun. You'll have to come out sometime, Jacob.
Will do.
And do a class with us.
I will do. All right, Jerry. Well, hey, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate your time and everything you've done for us.
Jacob, great to see you.